All right, let's dive in. If you're trying to build a rig for local AI in 2025, you know it's a total minefield out there. It's a mess of new cards, old cards, and a ton of confusing jargon. So we're going to cut through all of that and make it make sense. This is the big one, right? The question everyone is asking. From hobbyists just messing around with image generators to actual developers trying to tune their own models. And honestly, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. But that's why we're here. We're going to make the complicated simple. First, we'll break down the specs that actually matter for AI, no fluff. Then we'll look at the best cards you can get at different price points. And finally, we'll put them head-to-head so you can walk away knowing exactly what you need.
Okay, before we even start looking at shiny new boxes, we have to learn the language, because if you don't know what these terms mean, you're just flying blind. This is the key to making a smart choice.
First up, and you could argue this is the most important one, is VRAM. The workbench analogy here is perfect. Your AI model is the project, and VRAM is the table you have to build it on. If the project's too big for the table, well, you can't work. For 2025, you really shouldn't even consider anything with less than 12 gigabytes. That's your entry ticket for running those popular 7 to 13 billion parameter models.
Next up, tokens per second. This is pure raw speed. It's how fast the AI can think or, spit out words. A low number here is painful. It's like watching text appear one letter at a time. A high number? That's a smooth, fast, conversational flow that feels like magic. And then there's quantization. This is the secret sauce. It's a super clever way to shrink models so you can cram bigger projects onto your workbench and get them to run faster. The really exciting part here is this FP4 and FP8 stuff. These are newer, hyper-efficient formats that NVIDIA's latest Blackwell GPUs are just amazing at, and it gives them a serious advantage for AI tasks. All right, we've got the basics down. Now for the fun part. Let's actually look at some graphics cards. We're going to do this by budget, so you can zero in on the best bang for your buck, no matter how much you're looking to spend.
Let's start with the under $500 sweet spot. This is the perfect place to be if you're a hobbyist, if you're curious, or if you just want to run models like Llama 7B without taking out a second mortgage. You'd be surprised what you can get here.
So in this tier, you've basically got two killer options. For around $200 on the used market, you have the legendary RTX 3060. It's got that magic 12 gigs of VRAM and plugs you right into NVIDIA's amazing CUDA software ecosystem. Then you have the new kid on the block, the Intel Arc V570. It's a little faster, a fantastic value, but the software side is still playing a little bit of catch-up. And this quote just nails why the 3060 is still such a star. It's a total workhorse. Even though it's an older card, it has the VRAM, and with NVIDIA's special software optimizers like TensorRT LLM, it just works. It's a super safe and affordable way to get into the game. Okay, moving up a level. This is the tier for the value champions. Honestly, this is where most of you are probably going to want to be. Between $500 and $1,000, you get the absolute best mix of performance, VRAM, and price. We're talking about easily running those bigger, smarter 13 to 30 billion parameter models.
And oh man, the battle here is intense. You've got NVIDIA's brand new RTX 5070, which is just a monster of efficiency thanks to that Blackwell FP4 support we mentioned. But then look at AMD's RX 9060 XT. For a little less money, it throws in a massive 16 gigs of VRAM. It really comes down to a classic trade-off. Do you want NVIDIA's raw speed or AMD's bigger workbench?
But wait, there's a plot twist. You absolutely cannot forget about the RTX 5060 Ti. I mean, look at this. Getting 16 gigabytes of VRAM on the latest Blackwell architecture for around $400, that is an absolutely insane deal. This card completely changes the conversation for AI fans on a budget.
So, we've looked at the key specs, we've seen the top cards in each tier. Now, let's put it all together. Let's get to the final verdict and help you make that last tough decision.
Okay, this table is basically your cheat sheet. You can see it all laid out clear as day. The RTX 5070 is the king of speed, no question. But then you've got the AMD 9060 XT and NVIDIA's own 5060 Ti offering way more VRAM for less cash. And down at the bottom, the Intel Arc B570 is still the undeniable champ of that entry-level price point.
And if you're a visual person, this chart tells the story perfectly. You can literally see that performance gap. Look how much taller that RTX 5070 bar is. That's not just a number, that's a real, tangible difference in how fast and responsive your AI is going to feel. It really confirms that for pure, raw speed, NVIDIA is still the one to beat.
So it really all comes down to this one simple question you have to ask yourself. What is your top priority? Is it speed and a seamless everything just works experience? Then you pick NVIDIA. End of story. Their software is just that good. Or is your priority getting the absolute most VRAM for your dollar so you can run the biggest models possible? If that's you, and you don't mind a little extra setup, then AMD and Intel offer just incredible value.
All right, before we wrap this up, just a few final tips. Because picking the right card is only half the battle. Buying it the smart way is the other half. This is how you can get even more out of your money.
First, do not sleep on the used market. Seriously, you can save a ton of cash on a proven card like the 3060. Second, use the software. Take advantage of quantization. It's like getting a free VRAM upgrade for your GPU. And third, be honest with yourself. If you only need massive horsepower every once in a while for a huge project, just rent a GPU in the cloud. It's way cheaper than buying a $1,000 card that just sits there gathering dust.
Now, obviously, this space moves at a ridiculous pace. For the latest pricing and a much deeper dive, check out the full guide over at bestgpusforai.com. We've dropped the link down in the description for you.
So I'll just leave you with this one final thought to chew on. With AI evolving this quickly, maybe future-proofing isn't about buying the most expensive, most powerful card you can find. Maybe the truly smartest move is just getting the best possible value today so you have the flexibility to adapt to whatever amazing new thing comes out tomorrow. Just something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.